Hi everybody, gonna do this first of a couple different 5-minute videos today. So the first one I want to cover is basically what is going to be good pasture for my sheep, or for anybody's sheep, or for goats. Okay, now sheep and goats definitely have different needs, but when it comes to pasture, goats prefer to browse. That means they don't do a lot of very low grazing. Now they will graze for sure, but they prefer to browse. So they prefer bushy things, they prefer low trees, they prefer taking down saplings, they prefer blackberry bushes, they prefer anything that is at kind of eye level, and they just browse around. Whereas sheep prefer grasses. They prefer to graze more than browse. Now they will browse. They will eat things off of bushes or low trees if they want to. Usually they do that as a secondary thing though. That's not their first thing that they go after. First thing they go after is the best tasting grasses, then the best tasting I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but basically the weeds that have more than one leaf. Things like dandelions they really like. Things like lamb quarters and stuff, things with just multiple little leaves that come out. When it comes to things like clover, clover is kind of, people disagree. Okay, clover basically stimulates a natural form of estrogen in the body when you take it in high amounts. This is for humans, for animals, for whoever. So if you have a lot of clover in your field, sometimes it can cause too much estrogen, could cause infertility issues, or could cause miscarriage issues. So you want to control the amount of clover. Now, clover is really healthy. Clover has a lot of vitamins. My parrot playing in the background. But clover has a lot of vitamins. It's really good for you, and it's really good for, in smaller amounts, it's great for fertility. It can actually cause you to have more twins and triplets instead of singles. So basically, my pasture that I want to have is going to be primarily Timothy grass, a little clover, and orchard grass. Though I think that'll be the best overall pasture. I'm sorry I'm coming in and out of the screen here. I'm sitting in a bit of a weird angle for me. But between those three grasses, I think that would be the best mix for both the sheep and the horse. I plan to try and get seeds to get this taken care of and start doing some late seeding for this year, and hopefully it will still grow enough. I've still got a long enough growing season. It's June, but we don't typically get our first frost until October, so it still has enough time to get to seed, but we shall see. The goats, on the other hand, they typically don't need as lush a pasture. You can get away with more things like probably how my pasture currently is. Now I've purchased, getting it mailed to me, a basically heavy duty weed eater type thing that I'm going to go out in the pasture and see how much of that I can clear to see if we can get that pasture back there as big as possible. Plus give the horse more, area for him to browse. I don't want him to get skinny like he did last year. Now, like he did last winter. He's going to have hay this year, which he didn't have much last year. Last year, we primarily just gave him pelleted feed, and he got to eat what he found on the ground left for the ruminants. But, with winter and everything. Winter wasn't super rough, but the grass, of course, wasn't growing. That's why he munched down a bunch of those trees. But, like I said, he was not deathly skinny or anything, but he was definitely thinner than I like to see him. But anyway, so those are three good things to have in a sheep or goat pasture, or a horse pasture. You're usually supposed to try to do your seeding in early spring. I didn't know I was getting these sheep in early spring, so I wasn't that worried about it. I was planning on just getting a small bag and tossing it out there for the horse. But now that we're definitely going to have more animals on the pasture than just our pasture pet horse, that's why I'm looking at improving the pasture. I'm looking at possibly getting some electric netting to fence off certain areas to let the grass grow so that the horse will have some better pasture in certain areas after I clear them. But that is pretty much all I wanted to cover was some pasture information. Now, I am not super experienced at this. I have never raised grazing animals before, so this is all just going to be on research and stuff that I've had friends tell me. But if you guys have any tips, or if you want me to try to see if I can find answers for you on something else, hey, comment, let me know, and I will certainly do my best to find that info. We've reached our 5 minutes, guys. See you in the next video.